Hello guys, welcome to the new video. This video is a continuation of previous video about component from j-Component library from Total.js, j-DataGrid. In the previous video, I told you some theory about the j-DataGrid and I showed you how to create columns with data types of string, number, phone, and email. In today's video, we will continue with data types Boolean and date, and also I will show you how you can catch click event on every row, how you can add control panel with buttons for every row, and why are useful these checkboxes in front of every row. So I hope you will enjoy this video and we can start. When we want to create a new column for Boolean data type, we can do it same as before. So we will write here name, which will be online, text, which will be online, and type, which will be Boolean. Now, when I save this code and refresh our page, you can see that the new column appeared here. As you can see, there is no text in this column, just checkboxes, which represents true values, or empty checkboxes, which represent false values. Now, as you for sure know, there is only two values which can appear in this column. So we can give a user an option in the filter to choose from one of these options to filter our data. We can do it by adding here property options. And here we have to add options we want to give to the user. It should be in the form of array of objects. So this will be first option, and this will be the second option. These objects should have two properties. First one is ID, and the second one is name. The first option represents the value. So for example, the first option will be for true values. I will put here the name true, and then ID will be true. Sorry. The second option will be for false values. So ID will be false, because that's the values from this column, true and false, and the name will be false. Now when I save this code and refresh our page, I can click on the filter and the J directory will appear here because we already included component J directory in our page, and you can see our two options, true and false. So when I click for true, our filter is working, and when I click to false, you can see that filter is also working. Now we can continue to the last column, which will be created. Same as before, we will write here name, which will be created, and text, which will be created. Now when I refresh this page, I'll save this code and refresh the page. The date appeared here in our data grid. You can put here type date, but I wanted to show you how to work with templates, so we will do it this way. So we'll put here template property, and in this template we will write a template for date. In this case we will use rectangular, so we'll put here created, pipe, and format for our date. I want our date to be day, month, and year. And also we had to put here the backslashes, before our apostrophes. Now when I save this code and refresh our page, you can see that the date is formatted by our template. But it doesn't look good in my opinion, so we put here align to align the text to the right side of the cell, so we put here 2. Also we can align header with 2, also to the right side of the cell, and we can also align filter to the right side of the cell. Now I will save this code and refresh our page. You can see that all these things are aligned to the right side of the cell. There is also an option that if you want to dismiss option for filtering into your column, you can do it like this. You put here filter and the value will be false. Now when I refresh our page, you can see that in this column isn't possible to filter in the values. Now we can continue to our other functionalities. We can create control panel with some buttons. To create control panel with buttons, we have to put here type controls, and then we have to use template. Now in the template, we have to write HTML code for our buttons. So it will be button with attribute name, and first can be, for example, show, and we will close this HTML tag button, and in here we can put icon, which will be from Total.js icon library, search, and text will be in a span, and text will be show. Now when I save this and refresh our page, you can see that here appeared a button. You can put here as many buttons as you want. So for example, I will copy this and put here another button. This pen we can remove and put here, for example, a pencil. And attribute will be not show but edit. And now we can now we can copy this button and put here another button, but this will be button remove. And also here will be another icon, and this icon will be trash with red color. Now when I save this code and refresh our page, you can see that there are another 2 buttons. Now we can catch these click events on our buttons by adding here setting button, and we want to invoke function clicked. Now we can create the function clicked, with arguments button name and draw. And after clicking on some of the buttons, we want to console log button name and row. Now when I refresh our page, and click on some of the buttons, you can see that it is button show. This is taken from the attribute name of our buttons and also all the data from the row. So for example, I will click here on the edit button, and you can see there is edit, and I clicked on number 3 on data with ID 3 and name Dodo, and I will click here to remove, and as you can see there is remove and all data from our row. Also, we can catch a click event directly on one of the rows, and we can do it by adding here setting click, and we want to invoke function click. Now we can create this function in our JavaScript plugin. It will be export click function with argument row, and after clicking on some of the row, we want to console log this row. Now, as you can see, our cursor changed itself to pointer, and when I click on this row, it will be console logged in our console. So I clicked on the name Louis, so all the object with the name Louis is here in the console. Also, I can click here, and as you can see, it's also the row I clicked on. And the last thing I want to show you is how you can use the checkboxes in every row. We have to put here in the settings, in the config and other settings, which will be checked, and the path when we want to save our data. So it can be also checked. Now, when I refresh our page and I will check these two rows, for example, Petyo and Marek, we can get these two rows from our path checked. The path will be common checked because, as you know, the question mark will be replaced with common because we are in plugin common. So I will put here common checked, and now you can see that there are two objects. The first object is with the name Petyo, same as here, and the second Marek, same as here. So that's all I wanted to show you about this component, but don't forget that this is only a basic example, and this component is capable to do a lot of more. I hope you enjoyed this video and maybe you learned something new. Have a great day.